Dear faithful Catholics, please, I need your help. Since 2020, I've shared many texts and videos to help you understand the errors Pope Francis has inserted into the traditional teaching of the Church. Today, the Vatican and Opus Dei want to sanction me for that. That is to dismiss me from the clerical state. Please write to the email you see on the screen and call the phone numbers you see on the screen to say your opposition to this sanction. Thank you very much. I've done my duty of priest, which is to tell the truth to all the people of God about the errors of Pope Francis and the traditional teaching of the Church. Thank you very much. And now I want to share with you a letter I've sent to Cardinal Yu and the Prelate of Opus Dei. April 25th, 2024, Saint Mark Evangelist. Father Janvier Gbénou, @gmail.com, Porto Novo, Benin. To His Eminence, Lazarus Heung-Sik, Prefect of the Dicastery for the Clergy, Vatican. To His Excellency, Fernando Ocáriz, Prelate of Opus Dei, Rome. Eminence and Excellency, may Jesus and Mary bless you always. With humility and respect, I would like to request from your high benevolence, on the grounds of false accusations and lack of proof, the annulment of the trial opened against me on February 19, 2024. 1. According to the letter of April 8, 2024, from the VICAR of Opus Dei, on the basis of Canon 1371, paragraph 1, I am accused of disobedience towards the Holy See imposed on you in the decree of May 30, 2022. That is, that I was to observe total silence on the moral and doctrinal errors of Pope Francis. But here is the content of the canon. A person who does not obey the lawful command or prohibition of the Apostolic See or the ordinary or superior, and after being warned, persists in disobedience, is to be punished, according to the gravity of the case, with a censure or deprivation of office or with other penalties. The accusation is therefore false, because it does not take into account an important aspect of the virtue of obedience, the lawfulness of the order given. In fact, we must necessarily ask a question. Does Francis' magisterium contain errors? Yes or no? If no, then I am indeed at fault and should have remained silent. If yes, not only I am not at fault, but also, in order not to commit the sin of complicity and adulation, I have, as a priest, a grave moral obligation to inform Christians about the errors that Francis has refused to correct since 2016, and which are damaging their moral conscience. Every intellectually and morally honest person knows that the answer is yes, since Francis has received many filial corrections from his daughters and sons all over the world, university professors and experts in theology, morality, and canon law, who have invited him to correct his errors. For example, open letter to the College of Cardinals, June 29, 2016, 45 signatories. Filial correction to Pope Francis, July 16, 2017, 62 signatories. Filial appeal to all the cardinals and bishops of the Catholic Church, February the 2nd, 2024, 511 signatories, etc. 2. According to the letter of 8 April 2024 from the VICAR of Opus Dei, my publications may be subject to the penal type established in Canon 1373 of the Code of Canon Law. Here is the content of the canon. A person who publicly incites hatred or animosity against the Apostolic See or the ordinary because of some act of ecclesiastical office or duty, or who provokes disobedience against them, is to be punished by interdict or other just penalties. What are the proofs of this accusation? Dates and places, words and actions that constitute hatred or animosity against the Apostolic See, or that provoke disobedience to a lawful order of Pope Francis. In my letter of April 9th, 2024, I asked the Vicar of Opus Dei to send them to me in writing so that I could prepare my defense, but to this day I have received nothing. This was predictable, since these proofs do not exist. My conscience and God are witnesses that I have never asked Christians to have hatred or animosity against the Apostolic See or to disobey lawful orders of Pope Francis. According to canon law and civil law, this second accusation is unacceptable because the accuser cannot present proof of his accusation. 3. Please allow me now to draw your attention to the recent condemnation of Cardinal Marc Ouellet, April 3rd, 2024, by a French civil court for having expelled a woman from a religious order without any substantiated proof of accusation. It was this same cardinal who validated my unjust expulsion from Opus Dei without proof of accusation, as I pointed out to the Vicar of Opus Dei in my letter of March 26, 2024. Should I in future turn to a civil court to claim damages for my unjust expulsion from Opus Dei, and possibly for my unjust dismissal from the clerical state? In fact, on January 22nd, 2021, in Yamoussoukro, Ivory Coast, I was expelled. The word is not a bad one, because that is exactly what happened in front of witnesses. I was expelled from my usual place of residence by a priest, with a ban on returning, a ban given to this priest by the Vicar of Opus Dei. After living for 23 years, from 1998 to 2021, in Opus Dei's Center for Numeraries, I was suddenly taken away from my usual environment and friends, and forced to live alone in a convent of female Carmelites for 5 months. I suffered psychological, affective, and moral damage, and was even slandered, since several friends told me that Opus Dei directors in Rome, France, and Ivory Coast, without any logical or medical basis, told many people that I had psychiatric problems that led me to publicly contradict Pope Francis. 4. However, I am not the only priest to have suffered such abuses of power and humiliations. There are many others in Opus Dei, including lay people. For example, José Luis Aberasturi, a Spanish priest and journalist. These abuses also exist in several dioceses around the world and involve priests, religious men and women, laymen and laywomen. The Coalition for Council Priests can confirm this to you. Here are just a few examples. Monsignor Juan de Dios Olvera Delgadillo from Mexico, Father Tulio Rotondo from Italy, 3 hermits from Scotland, Stephen the Cardinal, Colette Roberts and Damon Kelly, journalist Joseph Seifert, etc. 5. The last point. Is it possible that the Prefect of the Dicastery for the Clergy is silent and indifferent to the suffering of so many priests around the world who are mistreated because they preach the truth about the relativism and situational ethics that Francis has introduced into the traditional teaching of the Church? Is it possible that His Eminence, Lazarus U, does not see that it is unjust and cruel to dismiss me from the clerical state because I inform the people of God about Francis' errors? Did you dismiss from the clerical state Father Marco Rupnik, who sexually abused several nuns since 1985? No. Did you dismiss from the clerical state Father Christophe Karamsa, who, after working for several years in the Vatican, appeared in the media on October 3rd, 2015, with his companion, claiming to be a homosexual priest, happy and proud of his identity? No. Did you dismiss from the clerical state Father Luigi Capozzi, who in June 2017 organized a homosexual party with drug use in a Vatican flat? No. Has the time not finally come for all Christians to demand an end to injustice and for Pope Francis to be indicted to correct the errors of his magisterium? Yours affectionately, signed, electronic signature, Father Janvier Gbénou. God bless you. Thank you very much. Don't forget to write to these emails and to call to these phone numbers. Thank you very much, and God bless you.